Hello. I have had a haircut. In fact, I've had them all cut. Tried to resist, couldn't, didn't even try that hard, to be fair. So these are wet finished and ready to go. They look much the same, as you can see. This one's a bit wider, this one's a bit narrower. I've swapped the warp and the weft, you can't really tell. But they are done. You can sort of tell if you look closely, but these are going to two different people, so they're not going to be next to each other, presumably. So they've come out really well. The wet finishing has made them nice and soft, except holding up two scarves is quite tricksy. So I'll show you the length, although it is much the same all the way along. In fact, it's exactly the same all the way along. And I will tell you that these yarns are Bendigo Woolen Mills, oops, good catch, Bendigo Woolen Mills Classic in Silver Twist and in grey. And then the yellow is Marigold. I think I need to look this up because every time I use this yellow to put a yellow stripe in anything, I say it's Marigold and it might not be. So there is the subtle difference in them because I used the warp and the weft the other way round. Does that make sense? I don't know. So if you have a look at the yellow stripes on this one, you'll see I've used the silver twist for the weft. So there's a little bit of sort of flecking on the yellow stripes. And then this one I've used the grey for the weft, so there's no flecking. Do you see the vast and amazing difference between them? No, it's okay. So that's, I think, the end of the big order. I've got to count up and see if I've got enough for the big order, but we'll find out when I've counted them up. So the little loom still has the flame on it that it had last, that's the yarn, I haven't set fire to anything, that it had last week, but I'll show you how I'm going with that. Not a huge amount of progress. I've been doing other stuff, sorry, shook the tripod. I've been doing other stuff, my brain's very full. Anyway, I'm going to go and get the little loom and I'll be back in 1 second. That might have been more than 1 second, I don't know. So this is how it's looking. So that colour is really coming through, and then I've got a big long stretch of, whoops, just dropped my shuttle. Never mind. Big long stretch of the black, and then the colour, let me pick up my shuttle, which is down here. Up you come, shuttle. And then, oh, dropped my heddle as well. It's all going so well. So let me maybe just get control of things here slightly. There we are. So I've got that big long run of black, and then there's some more colour peeking through there. So there'll be 3 patches of this colour with the black background. So I haven't actually even finished the first shuttle, to be honest. I have been doing other things. It's going to take a little while because it is a long one, but it's going to be worth it because look, I'm really pleased with how that looks. This is Changeling Coloured Yarns, yes, Flame, which is, as you can see, the fire colours on a black background, and then Bendigo Woolen Mills Classic 5-ply in charcoal. Now I don't have anything on the big loom and I'll tell you for why. So I ordered some yarn because I've got other yarn that I want to use, and that's a good excuse to buy more yarn, and that arrived yesterday and I was about to put it on the loom and get it all up and running, and then I thought I better do a tug test, and it failed the tug test rather spectacularly. So I'm going to put this down and show you what I mean by tug test, because if you don't weave you think I'm making stuff up, and I promise I'm not. I'm going over here again, I'll be back. Here's some yarn. So the tug test, when you, oh, sorry, there's a branch. I'm fine, I'm all right. So when you're weaving, because the warp is under tension all the time, the yarn that you use needs to be able to withstand that tension. And the way you test that, I've got a little bit of yarn here, I don't know if you can see, what if I go like that? Is you hold it in your hands, between your forefingers and your thumbs, and you pull it. You give it a good tug. So that would be fine for warp because it's holding under that tension, and the loom is not going to be that tense, it's going to be a little bit less tense. The yarn that I bought is a very fine yarn, and I've used very fine yarns before and it's been okay, but I did the tug test, and not only did it not pass the tug test, it didn't even try. It literally just disintegrated in my hands. So I was going to warp up the loom yesterday, and then I kind of thought, well, I don't know what I'm doing now because the one that I planned isn't going to work. I do have, which I just thought of, another plan. So I'll have something on the big loom for next week maybe, unless I have a really big burst of productivity and get it on the loom and then off the loom. That's not going to happen. Now, the crochet, that's down here. I'll be back. Trust me, I'm coming back. I've just got to, I haven't prepared very well for this week. Which is not like me. That's exactly like me. So here's how the crochet is looking. So I'm in the fancy bits. Let me find. Yep, there goes the yarn. Oh, it landed directly in the bag. I'm going to pretend I did that on purpose. So I'm into the fancy bits. Let me show you the fanciest of the fancy bits, which looks like, what are you? Oh, you're an end. Don't worry about it. So it's looking like, let me see if I can get my fingers in there to hold that up nicely so that you can see it. Probably not. There we go. So it's looking a bit like that. In fact, it's looking exactly like that, to be fair. So this might show off a bit better now that I've got a bit more progress, what the effect is going to be. So you can see maybe, no you can't, I'm holding that up so badly. You can see there, that's the start of the row, so it's a bit chonky, that it's building up into a triangle that will go up into a point. So the last row of that triangle will just be the one stitch in the middle with the inverse triangle in these V-stitch clusters. So it's coming along much more quickly than I was expecting it to, because, as I said last week, very stitch dense, these rounds, but they are moving quite swiftly, and it's looking good. I think I've done like a round and a half since last week. What's happening with my yarn? I don't know. And I don't know why I'm asking you. Here we go. So I'll show you as well as I can. It's hard to get it in shot. So there's the top, and there's the, no, I need to be about 3 inches taller. There's the bottom. So this top will also form the collar. When I'm wearing it, it does fit. I wonder if I can put this on. Why not try? Why not try? You can make this just as a vest without any sleeves, but it does fit. And then I've got a few more rounds to go, but it's a circle cardigan, basically. The pattern calls it a sweater, but it's a cardigan. So there'll be a few more rounds there, but it does fit. It does fit. And then I've got to put some sleeves on because I've decided I do want the sleeves. So yes, that's how the cardigan's going, and that's how the weaving's going. And I've got to bundle up the rest of that order, label everything because I haven't been doing that because I'm slack, and then put something on the big loom that I've just realised about half an hour ago I could do, because I bought some yarn earlier this year that I really wanted to put on the loom, and then it got pushed to one side because I was doing other stuff. So we'll see what happens with the big loom. We'll see if I get any further in the little loom, and we'll see how many more rounds of this I can get done before next week. But I really like these little bits. It's a complicated looking pattern, but once you sort of have a really good hard look at it, it makes sense. It's like so many things in life. You came here because I'm profound. Okay, that is it. I feel like I've thrown a lot of information at you very quickly. The reason for that is my battery indicator. So I'm going to stop before my battery runs out. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.